Hi, I'm Bernadette Casey, Senior Editor of PRWeek, and I'm here with Jen Risi, who's the EVP of Ogilvy Media Influence. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Certainly we know in our industry that there's a great deal of emphasis on global. All our agencies, certainly Ogilvy as well, are finding there's lots of opportunities on the global front for expansion. And a very important topic when dealing with global is some of the emerging media trends. What can you tell us about that?
Well, a lot of exciting things are happening right now. I'd say the media world is more global than ever. You have a very small group of influencers really driving influence and content all over the world. The way that we're working today is really in two ways. Is who are those big global influencers that drive stories all over the world, so the most influential outlets like the Wall Street Journals or the CNNs of the world. But then how do you really localize the story and really work within a specific market and hit those influencers and consumers and engage them in the right way? So we've been really working with a lot of our clients, one of which is Mexico, as you know, is a big client of mine that I work with on a day-to-day basis, is how do we identify what they really want to be doing and talking about right now? There's always issues emerging, as you can see even today. We're managing a major crisis with what's happening in Acapulco. How do you identify the right message and get that out and set the tone globally, but then also make it relevant in specific markets? And that's been a challenge of ours, but something I think we've been doing pretty well at Ogilvy.
And indeed, to your point, who is an influencer? Certainly, beyond just our magazine and your traditional journalists, there are everyone. It's the time of citizen journalist and even citizen influencer, really.
Exactly, and we're seeing it even in events like the Super Bowl when the lights went out. You saw it went from being on Facebook and Twitter, and the news then went into the blogosphere, and then into traditional media, and then into trade publications. So you're really seeing what we call media reverberation today, and how a story can really go from a person and really go out into the world. And that's what we're really working on a lot about today, is how do we help clients really connect from talking to people like you and I to then influencing what's happening in the world and their industry.
And you're actually taking some steps to formalize that process in terms of reaching out to media partners. Would you like to talk about that?
Exactly. Some exciting news happening at Ogilvy is we're starting to do some new things. Media partnerships have really become a mainstay, a staple, so to speak, like we do when you get clients to speak at a speaking opportunity or to do an interview. We're actually working with a new partner, Fast Company, to create a channel for our clients and for our IP at Ogilvy and Mather, to really get their stories out there and to provide content to these publications. These forums are new, but also becoming, as I said, a staple for companies to really think about how can they get their message out in a controlled way and partner with really strong influencers. And we're not just seeing it in print, we're seeing it across broadcast stations like an ABC or an NBC as well, and CNN's open to it too. So the world is changing, and social media has changed the game, but I think traditional media has really change things as well, and they're open to doing new things as well, because they have the same cutbacks that we're all facing, and they have to still get the news out in creative way and compelling way as possible.
And then when might we see some that actual partnership with Fast Company, actually, that we could all look at something?
It's probably going to start to really go live in April. We're going to be at one of their first big events, on their Uncensored event in April. Our content channel, working with them on their Co-Create channel, will be out there in April as well. And then we're going to be planning something at Con.
And is it too early to say, sort of, maybe, is it topics that we might see on the channel, or what kind of content would be there?
We're going to be looking at trends that Ogilvy and Mather is seeing as what's driving the business, not only from a communications and PR perspective, but also advertising and marketing. But then also highlighting the work of some of our great clients and what they're doing. So some of our biggest brands, from B2C to B2B to our nation branding work, and what they're doing, and how we can share some of those best practices and really get them out there to the industry as a tool for learning.
So in our industry, content creation is a huge issue right now. Everyone's talking about it. So this is another effective way to get the content of your clients and Ogilvy out on another platform.
Exactly. Everything we do today is either focused in print or in video, and we're finding ways that we're trying to connect in new ways than ever. And we're our clients' storytellers, and our clients are storytellers. Everything we do today, whether it's a press release or an event, has a video component, whether I'm shooting it with an iPhone or we have a production crew. We really want to have a face with the story, and that's what makes it compelling for people to relate to, because we don't have the attention span we used to have. We want everything in 140 characters, and video helps to really make those stories come to life.
Absolutely true. Thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you.